Hi, I'm Kathy Johnson from Pyramid of Potential. Welcome to lesson 6 of 60 videos on harnessing learning potential. This video is all about sensory integration issues. Now, there are actually 7 different senses. You probably know about 5 of them: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. Well, other people know about 2 additional ones. One is the sense of balance, or the vestibular sense. And the other one is called the proprioceptive sense. This is the ability to know where our bodies are in space based on input that we get from our joints and our muscles. Now, if there's a problem with these senses, then somebody can be called as having a sensory integration issue. So that means that several of these senses might be extremely sensitive or hypersensitive. And they could be hyposensitive, which means that they're undersensitive. So let's take an example of the sense of smell. So if somebody is hypersensitive to smell, it means that they smell at a much higher rate than most people. Okay, so that means if somebody's wearing perfume and they don't like it and they just walked in the door, they might be able to sense that. With a child, an awful lot of times, they might not like smells that most other people like mom's cooking. Okay? If they're hyposensitive, that means they're undersensitive. So somebody who's hyposensitive to smell, for example, might crave smells. So they're going to actually be smelling things like their hair, their clothing, markers, candles, so that they're craving smells. So therefore, they might put on perfume and put on way too much. So somebody who has many of these senses that are either hypo or hyper, they could be considered as having a sensory integration dysfunction or issue. What do we do about it? 2 things. First of all of this is matured when somebody is going through the first year of life. So we need to go back to that first year of life and work on primitive reflexes. There are 2 primitive reflexes that are extremely important for these 2 or these functions. And so one is Moro and another is spinal galant. So make sure that you integrate those and take a look at those. We'll be discussing those in detail in future videos. The other thing that you can do is go see your local occupational therapist for a sensory integration diet. And this helps the person so that they can feel so much better for a few hours. Doesn't usually last until the next day, so which is why you want to make sure that while you're doing that sensory integration diet, that you also integrate those primitive reflexes. So that's it for now. See you next time.